part of a crew, being where you need to be, when you need to be. That's Starfleet.
Well, guys, give it up for Trevor Roth from Roddenberry Entertainment, everybody.
Oh. Wow.
You didn't see that coming, did you?
I did not.
You didn't see that coming.
I did not. Let's be honest. Most people do not applaud for me. So
we applaud for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're doing wonderful things in the world.
Thanks.
So, I mean, you guys are killing it over there.
Keep you around.
Thank you. You guys are killing it over there at Roddenberry. I mean, first of all, how busy are you? I mean, how are you even here? Are you juggling like you have multiple shows on air, multiple things in development? Are you just constantly, is your daily routine like working on 6-7 things at a time?
We are very busy, and we are not actually a huge crew, but we do have wonderful partners in Secret Hideout and CBS and Paramount and all those kinds of things, and wonderful producers as well that are tremendously both helpful and leading charges and all those kinds of things. But so we do our best to be the part of everything that kind of like takes that 20,000 foot view on it, and really, you know, in the case of Star Trek, you know, remembers what Star Trek is and what it maybe needs to be, and make sure that that voice is heard in the room throughout everything that we're doing. And that goes for everything that we are doing outside of Star Trek as well. We really, you know, believe that Gene Roddenberry gave us a gift of this name and the promise of what that means in the world of entertainment. And so we're doing our best to uphold it, I guess.
Is it hard not to play favorites? Like, are you like, oh, you know, if only you could all be like Picard, or like Discover? Is it hard not to play favorites with all the shows you got going?
So I'm a father of 2, and a producer of many, and I feel like, you know, I mean, I don't know, in certain circumstances, maybe one of your kids is annoying you, and the other is being really good, and
also.
so
you
know. But I don't know that you probably say you love one more than the other.
One's way better.
Just depends
than the
on the day, like which one's annoying you or not. Which one wants money? Which one? You know,
and it's
weird
weird how
stuff.
it always evens out.
Right?
You know, which one wants money? Which of these shows needs the most financing right now? Yes.
But yeah.
Yeah. Well, you do have a few less shows on at this precise moment, because I think there was like there was sort of like a zenith you hit her. I think it was like around 2022 you had 5 shows.
Yeah, right now, let me just count real quick. I think so. Picard is done, of course. So Discovery season 5. Woo!
Yeah, here at South by.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Prodigy's on Netflix right now. Its second season's going to be coming out hopefully pretty soon. And Lower Decks is continuing to run, and an awesome show.
Yep.
And Strange New Worlds, which wasn't
season
one of the
3,
original, but yeah, we're you know, working on that. Yeah, and then we've got some stuff in development that, you know, is going to be coming soon. So we're doing good. I feel good.
Yeah, tease what you have in development right now.
Am I allowed? I think I'm not sure which I'm allowed to talk about.
Okay, well, should I get more specific?
Sure.
I mean, J.J. Abrams, is he coming back? Is there going to be a Star Trek 4?
Oh, we're now on movies. We're on the movie
we
side.
shifted. Yeah,
we did.
This is all
I didn't see
encompassing.
that.
This is
I didn't know. Yeah,
there's a little twist.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, the movies are. I am not able to say much, but I can say that it is Paramount's heavy intent to figure out, you know, the sort of Star Trek side of movies, and what's going on there. There's every intent of a new movie coming out in the very near future. There's a lot of secrecy around what's going to happen there, but there is a plan getting into place.
Okay.
And we're very excited to see it return to the big screen.
Okay, and maybe also a prequel.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's the other word on the street was like Todd, not Todd Haynes. That would be a Todd Haynes Star Trek movie would be incredible. But Toby Haynes, I believe, was gonna. Am I making this up?
No, there's some stuff out there that I can't deny or confirm. But I think that look, there've been a lot of people talked about throughout the last year since. 16 was the last movie, and I think
you guys
all
are keeping us waiting over there.
There's no joke about that. Yeah, that's for sure.
Do you recognize this in house?
I do. As a fan, I do. Yeah. And I will tell you that you want to do it the right way. You want to do it, and yet practical things get in. People a lot of times are like, oh, why isn't this happening or that happening? And sometimes those questions are really good questions, and other times there's a lot you sort of don't know.
Yeah.
That is happening behind the scenes that can make things more difficult than you would think. So all in all, we're getting there, to my understanding, and we're excited, and plans are being put in place. And I know that from the standpoint of the studio, there is no lack of recognition of wanting and needing a Star Trek film coming out.
Well, speaking of happening or not happening, it was just so, the rumors were just running rampant at one point. Was a Quentin Tarantino Star Trek movie ever in the realm of possibility? Was it ever close?
That was not a rumor, I'll say, is what I believe that was something that was being explored and discussed. It's not completely like an urban legend.
Yeah.
Is what I'll say. And by the way, my understanding is, although I've never met the man, that Tarantino is in fact a big Star Trek fan.
Yeah.
And loves like City on the Edge of Forever and some great, old episodes. And so, it's kind of awesome to think, that he sees something in this that we see as well.
Yeah. But not currently in production, or pre-production or anything. Not something you guys are having meetings
I don't think it's going to be his 10th film, to my understanding.
10th and final film.
Yes. Yeah.
Speaking of high-profile Star Trek fans, I had a conversation. It was at the beginning of last year with the almighty actor Nick Cage.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw this.
I did see that. I was very excited about that.
I was asking him if he was going to do Star Wars because his buddy Pedro Pascal wanted him in Star Wars.
Yeah.
And he said, which never happens in interviews, no, thank you. I am a Trekker.
Yeah.
He's like, I am a Star Trek fan. And of course, the internet went wild.
I was blown away. It's so wonderful when someone comes out of the woodwork like that.
Yeah.
And kind of like, there are some people, I don't even know if they want me to name them, but like to give you an example, like Rob Zombie is a Star Trek fan.
Is
and when
he?
I found out Rob Zombie, sorry, Rob, if you, anyway, but I found out and it was awesome. Like it was awesome to learn that he was a Star Trek fan, and Nick Cage the same. So I am waiting for the day when I somehow run into him or have some kind of interaction with him, because it was awesome to find that out. I was really excited about it, actually.
Yeah, the internet really wants that to have. There were people like offering to put up money. It was I think like people in house.
Yeah,
it was crazy. I want to see Rob Zombie's Star Trek movie now.
Right, I know. You got to wonder what that guy would do with it, right?
Yeah. Hey, maybe we couldn't get Tarantino, but I will take Rob Zombie's Star Trek movie in a heartbeat.
1,000 courses in space.
Yeah, exactly. I mentioned this prior to the interview, but we had the cast of Discovery in here to celebrate the fifth season, which is
such good people
premiering here at South by.
Yeah,
what a crew, and there was very emotional. There's a lot of bittersweetness about that series coming to a close. What can you say about what drove that decision? Why was it the time?
I mean, I think, look, there's probably a lot of things that I don't even understand that drive the decision. I think that, one, we look at Discovery as a huge success. 5 seasons, in a streaming world of today is actually a really strong showing.
Yeah.
And this is the one that really began the new iterations of Star Trek. Discovery was the one who sort of paved the way for this next generation, if you will, of stuff coming out there. So it is bittersweet because it was the first in that sense, and it was on its shoulders that so many of the others stood or stand. Mm-hmm. And the people involved in Discovery, from Sonequa to Doug to everyone, just such wonderful people that have truly become like a family. It's incredible to see how the dynamics have gotten them to be such a close-knit group, and how they truly care about each other on screen and off. It's really...
Yeah. Well, what can you tease about the 5th season? I mean, we've heard a little bit from the cast. Wilson, has promised us it's going to end on a really high note.
Is that what he promised?
He did.
Wow.
He did. Yeah.
Wow.
You don't agree?
No.
Actually, ends on a very low note.
I'm just saying, Wilson's putting his neck out there.
Yeah.
No, listen, I think that it's very exciting. You know what I mean? I think that season 5, as little as I'm allowed to say about it, because tonight is the premiere, and we're all going to get to see where it begins at least. Season 5 is a roller coaster of a ride, and I think you're going to get a lot of thrills out of it. And I think that at the same time, it's going to come to a nice resolution, come its end, that you're going to feel like, that it's closed. You're going to feel that closure, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and speaking of closure, I mean, one of the things, fans are excited about seeing where it goes is the romantic aspects of the film and what happens with Michael and Buck. I mean, they're like the Ross and Rachel of Discovery.
It is interesting how, the soap got in there really, and people really enjoy it. I think that when you look back at season 1 at Michael Burnham, and I mean, this was, a woman who was second in command, calling for mutiny, and all these kinds of things.
Full on
pretty
mutineer.
crazy.
Yep.
To then look at her, after season 2, eventually jumping to the future, of course, and now beginning a whole new life or a new part of her life in a very different time and having very different challenges. To me, it makes all the sense in the world that Book kind of came along and was with her during that chapter. And because I think it had to do with her growing emotionally in a lot of ways. And I think the two of them, I can't say enough good things about them, both as actors and as people.
So many great characters. Doug Jones just killing it as Saru always. Blue is so good in it. Do you think...
I don't even call him Doug, by the way. I just call him Saru. I don't even, I like to just think of him as his character.
His human form?
Yeah, no, I'll just call him Saru. Yeah. He doesn't always answer to me, but, whatever.
Yeah. Do you see a future for any of these characters beyond Discovery? Is there a hope that we might see them cross over anywhere else?
Look, never say never, and I will say they are wonderful characters, and a lot of them probably have stories that we don't know yet or have yet to occur. Mm-hmm. And so I think the wonderful thing about Star Trek, because I believe it will be around forever, is that there's always a chance to tell those stories, and that those stories normally are very meaningful and interesting and dynamic. So
yeah, I mean, Discovery is so interesting because it's so groundbreaking in so many different ways. When it came about in 2017, I think it was there were aspects to it that were controversial. Do you think that's one of these series like a DS9 that won't be fully appreciated until people sort of look back on everything that it did?
It's a good question. I mean, I hope it's appreciated today. I think that a lot of people who have true Star Trek fans who take issue with this or that along the way. I mean, the Next Generation, they took issue with it first, if you remember.
Right. Yeah.
And I think people
it's another one that
it's pretty beloved,
in stature over the years, right?
So, but I think that. As you sort of fall into the annals of Star Trek history, people start to recognize what you contributed to the overall franchise and the overall universe. And I think that if for some reason, Discovery wasn't your cup of tea, I think that there's definitely a softening over time, but hopefully it was from the beginning. I don't know.
Well, I want to ask you for some rapid fire updates. We've mentioned a couple of these shows already, but any update on Strange New Worlds? It's season 3.
Season 3, it's awesome. I love Strange New Worlds. It's such an homage to, literally the very first, the Cage, the very first pilot that was made, that ended up in the Menagerie. It too, just I think about the cast in my mind right now, and what a wonderful group of actors, and bringing certain characters that we love or have known of to life, and others being brand new. And it's fantastic. We're very excited about season 3.
How about Lower Decks?
Lower Decks, taking it to the animation, man. Mike McMahon and that crew, and Tawny and Jack and everybody there. It's a great look at Star Trek. I think that for those people who the underbelly is not the right word, but getting to see that side of Star Trek that we didn't used to see was always such a fascinating thing to me. And they do it with a great sense of humor, and it's fantastic. And no one knows Star Trek like Mike McMahon. I mean, that guy has pulled out, I cannot tell you how many little Easter eggs or, referrals to. It's insane.
How about Prodigy?
Love it. I mean, all I can say about Prodigy is if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. I don't care if you're a child or an adult. It is strong Star Trek and a great adventure. And if you don't know Star Trek, it's also a wonderful, wonderful access point to it because it allows you, along with the characters in it, to figure out what this is all about and why it's been around for almost 60 years.
Yeah, and one I don't think we mentioned, Section 31. I don't think we mentioned. I don't think
Section
we mentioned
31. Section 31. Michelle Yeoh. What more could you ask for? So Michelle was part of Discovery early on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then eventually left the show and is now back in Section 31. Yeah. And I mean, she's just she's like a force of nature.
Yes.
And it's almost like the world in some ways is just now recognizing that. That's and in other ways has forever, but really just like, she's like, I'm not even a tall guy, but like she's like this small woman who's just, a powerhouse. It's crazy.
That's right. The Discovery season 1 with in the Mutiny.
Yeah.
Wow. Brandon.
Yeah. She was that Georgiou.
That's right.
And then the other Georgiou. And then now Section 31 Georgiou.
Yeah. Awesome. So where's Star Trek going from here? I
think that Star Trek is going to continue to expand and see, the different ways we can, we're working on everything from podcasts or audio dramas to other shows. And I think that, one of the things that we try and do is kind of continue to push the vantage points from which we can see Star Trek. So, are there new perspectives that we can bring to it? We've never seen it from this perspective or that perspective. So I think a lot of it is about, again, keying into what Star Trek is, making sure that we provide that like substantive quality adventure and exploration of both out there and the human condition, while simultaneously see if we can bring a new perspective or a new on-ramp to that, and see if we can bring something new to the table. Therefore,
well, we will let you get back to work now.
Yeah, I gotta go.
You are a busy man.
People
guys,
are
give it up for Trevor Roth again from Roddenberry Entertainment.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.